Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I really live my life like I'm living in Alice in Wonderland because I just got done having a beautiful piece of apple pie with a cup of tea, and it got me thinking about this beautiful scene where Ruby was preparing cupcakes and pies for everybody in this beautiful scene for Life is Sweeter When You Are from the Descendants Rise of Red movie from 2024. And it got me to thinking about how kind and how beautiful Ruby Rose Turner is. She certainly left an everlasting impression on all of our hearts and ultimately became our favorite character from the Descendants Rise of Red franchise because she really put an exemplification on just how further kindness can go in a person's life, how much of a profound impact kindness can have on a person's heart, and how it can really touch a person's heart even when they least expect it. Because I can guarantee you there is somebody in your lifetime today who is just wanting a little bit of extra kindness shown to them, and if you're the person who shows them that kindness and goes out of your way to do it, put an exemplification and an exclamation mark behind it, you never really realize how much of a profound impact kindness can really have on a person's heart and how much it can touch a person's heart. Kindness really goes further in this lifetime, and that was a valuable lesson, along with how time is the most precious commodity that we are given and shown a greater appreciation for in this lifetime, because time always runs out. Time is always elapsing through the hourglass, and it's all about what we do with the time that we are given and how we spend the time that we are allocated with the ones that we love. I think that time is more precious than we ever give it credit for. And I think that Descendants and Zombies did a tremendous job really putting stronger exemplification on just how valuable and how precious time actually is. It really is the most precious commodity of all time. And I think that in Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland we will find out if Happily Ever After was really all that Chloe and Red ever wanted. Was it really all they ever imagined, or was it something more? We are about to find out, and I'm really intrigued by the plot that Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland will present us with. Because we've been Descendants fans for forever, and for the life of me, I don't know how they're going to be able to do Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland without Ruby Rose Turner being a part of the project moving forward. Because when news first was released on Twitter at the time that Ruby was parting ways with the franchise, I was heartbroken over it. And many of you who have been subscribed to this YouTube channel for what feels like forever, because forever feels like a long time for everybody, I get that, knows that I am the biggest Ruby Rose Turner fan in the world, and a lot of Ruby Rose Turner fans have subscribed to this YouTube channel because of that. And I'm here to let you guys know that I will forever and always be here uploading videos about Ruby Rose Turner dedicated to her career and her passion for being an actress, bringing these characters, these larger-than-life characters to life, that I really hope that Ruby Rose Turner has more of an opportunity to do moving forward, because I look forward to future projects involving Ruby, because she lights up every room that she ever steps inside of, every set that she steps on. She brings the best out of not only herself, but everybody else she's had the opportunity to work with. I got that ever since the age of 12 years old, when she was attending the red carpet premiere of Dumbo back in 2019, and she looked so beautiful. She looked really nervous on the red carpet premiere of Dumbo, but she had the time of her life on there. And I think that she was just so appreciative of being there. That's one thing I remembered about all these red carpet premieres for Dumbo and The Rise of Red that Ruby attended. Every picture that was taken had Ruby with a smile on her face. And that's an extreme rarity, that you see a celebrity with a smile on their face constantly. If they're having a smile on their face, it's only for the purpose of magazine covers and tabloids and PR. But Ruby just genuinely always has a smile on her face, and she's so appreciative of everybody she's around with and in the presence of. And that's the vibe that I've always gotten from Ruby Rose Turner. I go back to the Life is Sweeter When You Are music video, and I remember the greater appreciation being shown to all these forgotten characters in Descendants The Rise of Red, like Aladdin and Jasmine. Peter Pan, the fairy godmother, was featured in that music video too. Over 12 or 13 characters were put on display and given distinction because of this music video, brought to life by Ruby Rose Turner's voice. And there was just something so incredibly satisfying about hearing Ruby's voice on the soundtrack of Descendants that made me fall in love with it. I have to be honest with each and every one of you, because a lot of people record these reaction videos for songs off the Descendants Rise of Red soundtrack, and they won't even give it meaning or show purpose for reviewing their favorite songs or favorite moments. So they'll just rank them from 1 to 5, 1 to 10, whatever, and they won't even give you meaning or purpose as to why they've fallen in love with a specific song that they designate as their favorite from the Descendants Rise of Red soundtrack or any previous soundtrack that has dropped on Vivo or iTunes for Descendants. So I remember falling in love with this song because of just how much further kindness could really touch a person's heart, and it really inspired me to become a better person. If anything I can give Ruby Rose Turner credit for and get away with, it's inspiring me to become a better person and to show that much more kindness to people around me every single day of my life, kind of like you guys. I've always wanted to upload videos about Descendants of Zombies and talk to you about Descendants of Zombies, because I could be one of those guys on YouTube that comes off with a reaction video and just reacts to a scene or reacts to a music video and says, this is what I like about the music video, this is what I don't like about the music video. Anybody can do that. But I mean, what does that tell you about me? If I don't tell you stories that relate or tie into Descendants of Zombies and inspire you to believe that I am a fan of Descendants of Zombies, it really tells you nothing. Kind of like how I stopped talking from out of nowhere. I mean, what does that tell you about me in that brief moment of silence? Nothing. So, by showing you a greater appreciation for Descendants of Zombies, I believe the most profound way of doing this is by doing it with an open heart and an open mind. Because if you do it with an open heart and an open mind and you approach it that way, more people are going to appreciate your videos and understand you for the person you are, because with me is what you see is what you get, kind of like with Ruby Rose Turner, with what you see is what you get, which is something I really like about her, because she doesn't perceive herself for being someone she isn't, because with her is what you see is what you get every single time she steps onto the set for PR or to be a beautiful actress, because undoubtedly Ruby Rose Turner is stunningly gorgeous. She is drop-dead gorgeous. That is undeniable. And I think that she really is the most beautiful Descendants character of all time. I love this color scheme of pink. I love how she brought this character to life from out of nowhere, and how she just randomly showed up after they went back in time. She was one of the consequences of time travel, I know. And her effect on the Descendants franchise will forever live on eternally in the Descendants franchise as one of the consequences of time travel in the upcoming Descendants 5 with Wonderland. That is to be expected, with or without Ruby. But I forever and will always believe that the door will never be more widely left open for Ruby to return and reprise her role, because she can have something to do in present-day Wonderland. You see, that's where I question the lack of creative nature coming from the Disney company, not being able to find something for Ruby's character to do, especially after having such a profound impact on thousands of hearts, if not millions, because Ruby has millions of followers on social, and I can see why. Because many people are just looking for really nice posts to feel more uplifted about their own life and looking for encouragement. And I think that ever since Ellen DeGeneres quit her show, I think back in 2017 or something, she used to always post really nice posts on her social media accounts, and it really made people feel more encouraged, more uplifted. And I think ever since Ellen DeGeneres quit her show, I think a lot of people have been looking for something to really feel encouraged and inspired by. So that's why they go to Kylie Cantrell. That's why they turn to Ruby Rose Turner, because you get that from Kylie Cantrell and Ruby all the time. Their friendship is absolutely gorgeous, for those of you who don't realize that, or don't show it the respect that it deserves, because it deserves all the respect in the world. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do on this YouTube channel. That is precisely what I'm trying to come off as. A guy who loves Ruby Rose Turner for the person that she is, to offer her encouragement, to make her feel inspired, which I think never enough of this happens for your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. That's why they're crying all the time in social media posts, in videos they're uploading to TikTok and YouTube. And I've grown tired of that, because they don't deserve to cry about something they feel different about, because people feel differently about them, about a performance they may have given less than 24 hours ago, or a certain topic they talk about. They're entitled to their opinion, and that's the reason why God gave them a voice to use. And if they can't use that voice to let you know how they feel about a certain opinion, like politics or a relationship or Disney and the way they're treating them, then it really defeats the purpose of ever having a voice. God gave girls a voice to use, and if a girl can't use her voice to express her opinion, then it doesn't make them feel free. It doesn't feel like they're living their life openly and freely, which they deserve to do. That's why Dove Cameron was always misunderstood, because she felt very differently about a lot of opinions. She was very opinionated, and a lot of situations going on in her own life that caused her a lot of stress. And she realized years later that she had a voice, and once she started using it, she was made out to be the bad person. But I think more people have drawn inspiration from people like Dove Cameron and Ruby, because they're figuring out that they have a voice, and they're figuring out how to use it, and they're realizing that it's very powerful when they do. And I think that they shouldn't be held accountable for their opinions. They shouldn't be criticized, and that's why I'm here showing them all the love and support that I possibly can. If there's one thing I will go down in history for doing, it is showcasing your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars for their true value and their true worth, to ensure that their legacies will forever and always live on, and they will go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time, because that's what I wanted to have happen for me. While that may be forever away from happening for me, That's what I've always wanted to have happen, go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. And with your guys' help and your love and support, I know more than I ever have that I have a chance of going down in history as the greatest of all time, a GOAT. Because I even have a girl who is subscribed to this YouTube channel who calls me a GOAT all the time in comments because she loves these videos. Thank you so much for your love and support. Anyone else who believes that also, thank you so much for your love and support. Because I just started uploading Descendants and Zombies videos at random. I didn't know these videos were going to have such an incredible reach and they were going to touch the hearts of so many wonderful people. And on today's 20th birthday of Ruby Rose Turner, I've never felt more honored to sit in front of this microphone and talk about Ruby and how much she's meant to my heart, how much of an impact she's had on my life, and how she's really changed my life for the better. Because if anything, I've drawn inspiration to become a better person because of Ruby. And millions of other people have drawn inspiration to be kinder in their own life and show kindness to people who don't really expect that kindness to come from you. Because you never realize how much of a reach kindness has on a person's heart, or how much of a profound impact you can leave on a person's heart. A forever imprint will be left. And I think that goes with saying for every star of Descendants of Zombies, because they have their own impact on this franchise that will never ever be forgotten. An impact that was different from Dove Cameron, different from Sophia Carson, even Cameron Boyce, who I think we should always include in the conversation. Everybody had a different impact on the franchise, and people felt inspired by these characters, no matter if you were inspired by Uma, Mel, Evie, Carlos, Red, Chloe, Bridget. Bridget was always my favorite character, and I think she's outstandingly gorgeous. There's no denial coming from me about that. It's just, I think this criticism that she has received for her voice being on the song Life is Sweeter When You Are was completely unnecessary. Criticism for her opinions is beyond necessary. And I think if we're going to show love and support for Ruby Rose Turner, then that's what we should do, because her 20th birthday is a time in her life that she should remember. And she go down in history for being one of the best birthday celebrations of all time. Because I remember when I turned 20 years old, I just lost my mom from a battle with extensive breast cancer. And it was the most difficult time of my life, but I knew I had each and every one of you who listened to my show on the radio or watched me on YouTube, and I knew I could jump on my show anytime and tell you what was going on around me when I couldn't make sense of my own life. And I treated my shows as a journal because I wanted to have an appreciation for the audience, and I wanted the audience to have an appreciation for the host of the show, and through that we built an unbreakable bond. And many years later, after you guys brought me back from out of obscurity, from out of nowhere, to talk about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars as your voice of Descendants of Zombies, we are still having a profound impact on the hearts of many people. Many of your parents probably grew up watching me on YouTube and listened to my advice when they were getting ready to go on a date with your dad. It's happened many times over the years, because I've touched the hearts of so many wonderful generations, and I've had a profound impact on the hearts of many people. And one of the greatest rewarding feelings that you will get as a podcast host on YouTube is knowing that you've touched the heart of somebody, because you too feel the same way about a certain star of Descendants, a certain moment, a song that many people just rank for the purpose of ranking songs and moments. I don't think that's a really effective way of talking about your favorite franchise. If a moment in Descendants of Zombies jumps out at you and pulls at your heartstrings, at least explain why the moments pulled at your heartstrings and had such a profound impact on your heart. For me, it was that final kiss in Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, that Zed and Addison sheared, because this was the grand finale of what had taken many years to build up to. And when we finally got to that moment, we too realized that we could fall in love with somebody and find a true love and spend the rest of our lives with that one person, regardless of who it is or how it came in the form of and how it presented itself. We too had a chance of living in the moment for forever. Because when we saw that final kiss, everything became a reality, and our dreams felt that much closer to us. Or at least that's how I perceived it. And I think this beautiful friendship between Victor and Nova and Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampire still has its most beautiful moments left to be created, and so many beautiful chapters to be written. Because I'm a journalist, I love reading books. I always loved reading the Twilight books. I always loved reading the Notebook. And I had a greater appreciation for the words that were written on those pages, because I could analyze them and break them down in ways that nobody else ever could. Because I had a greater appreciation for the Twilight Saga, the Harry Potter books, the Notebook, The Last Song. I've read them all, and I've seen all the movies. And I've always had this unique way of never wanting to say goodbye to a franchise, because I think franchises have a chance of lasting for forever and always, regardless of how people feel very differently about franchises. But the thing is, that's what creates diversity, which is a difference in opinion. You know, so many people feel this way about Descendants, the other 50% feel that way about Descendants. And that's what causes diversity. And that's why the world spins on its axis. Because if everybody felt the same way about Descendants and Zombies, the world would be a pretty boring place. I know there are people who are very opinionated about their favorite stars and how they believe this should have happened, this should have never happened. And I appreciate that because that provides us with, like I just said, a lot of diversity and a lot of different opinions that sometimes clash. And that's why a lot of controversy ascends from people's videos and opinions on YouTube. So I think if we're going to talk about Descendants of Zombies, that's precisely what we should do, is talk about Descendants of Zombies and show it the accolades that it deserves, honor the franchises the way they were forever and always meant to be honored. Because as long as a celebrity like Ruby Rose Turner exists in this world, it gives me incentive to go on with my own life and create beautiful videos for people who draw inspiration from these characters like I have. Because this last decade has been a decade that I will never ever forget. It is a decade that has created so many wonderful memories for me that I will forever always hold a special place in my heart and forever and always cherish, because I got to meet so many wonderful people because of Descendants of Zombies. And sharing my stories and my experiences through being a Descendants of Zombies fan like you have with all of your friends, because some of those beautiful friendships of all time have happened because of Descendants of Zombies. And I really appreciate that when a beautiful friendship starts because of Descendants of Zombies and people feel the way they do about Descendants of Zombies, wanting to be a part of this stage production, The Worlds Collide Tour, wanting to be a part of the franchises they grew up watching and idolizing their favorite stars because of. Because regardless of how you remember becoming a Descendants of Zombies fan, all you know is you're 7 years old and you love Descendants of Zombies. So you expect people to appreciate the franchises the same way you do, and you get very upset when people don't. And I understand your frustration because you love Descendants of Zombies and that's all you've ever known. And I want you to know that if you're 7 years old watching this video, man, I support you and I support your opinions on Descendants of Zombies. And I'm here to tell you guys that there's nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants of Zombies, because I think Descendants of Zombies is cool. So if you think Descendants of Zombies is cool, my only hope is that you're going to hit my subscribe button, because you know this guy knows what's up. And he's going to show up and present a case and a point about talking about Descendants of Zombies every single time, tell you he loves Ruby Rose Turner, and back up his claim of loving Ruby Rose Turner because she was just so genuinely sweet and so genuinely kind. That's what was so beautiful about Ruby, and something I found great time in appreciating and had the time of my life because of. Because she showed me how much more kindness can have a significant impact on a person's heart and can really go the distance. And because she did that for me, I just wanted to show her the same respect and have the feeling be mutual. Because if she's showing us all this respect, we too should show her the same amount of respect. Because kindness really does go further than many of us realize. And this YouTube channel pretty much is the prime exemplification of just how much further kindness can go and how much profound impact it can have on a person's heart. Because somebody subscribes to this YouTube channel every day, if not every day, every second day at least. This YouTube channel just had over 1,000 views in one day, put up in less than 24 hours. That's incredible. That's a record. In 1 month, we had 11,000 views. This is the analytical breakdown for the statistics of this YouTube channel. In 1 month, we had over 11,000 views, near 12,000 views. And in one day, over 1,000 views. We're setting and breaking and smashing records because of this YouTube channel. Not because I decided to upload videos about Descendants of Zombies, but because you guys love Descendants of Zombies forever and always, and it's always been forever held a special place in your heart. And because I get that, I've always wanted to be here to talk about Descendants of Zombies. Tomorrow we'll do it all over again as we celebrate and commemorate the 16th birthday of Freya Sky. I'm really excited about that, and I'm cordially inviting you for that celebration. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that. Get that out of the way. Hit the subscribe emoji. What was really weird today, the subscribe emoji down in the left-hand corner was not working properly. It wasn't showing up on everybody's YouTube videos. And I was like, what's up with this? The Mickey Mouse emoji is not working. So it only started working about an hour ago, so probably that's why people haven't been subscribing. So hopefully the technical difficulty hasn't worked out, and the subscribe emoji will continue to work for the foreseeable future. Let's hope we don't run into any more technical difficulties. But guys, seriously, thank you so much for joining me to celebrate Ruby Rose Turner's 20th birthday today. I hope her day was a beautiful day. I know Meg Donnelly's birthday on July 25th this past summer was an incredible birthday celebration. She thanked all of you for the birthday wishes. And I'm sure Ruby is getting a lot of birthday wishes on her social media pages. I haven't checked, but I have no doubt in my mind people have forever and always been supportive of Ruby. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of your life and to have shared with you my memories of being a Descendants of Zombies fan, because it's been the greatest honor of my life to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies. And I want to keep this conversation going for as long as I possibly can, because never enough nice things can be said about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. So we will do this all over again tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. as we celebrate the 16th birthday of Freya Sky, Sweet 16. I remember getting a PlayStation 2 video game, Metal Gear Solid 2, on my 16th birthday and thinking I had the world at that point in my lifetime, because when you had the latest video game on PS2 25 years ago, you had the world and nothing could come between you and that video game. Like I'm going to do today. I'm going out to the game store and I'm going to buy a new game. And I'm really excited about it. And I'm really excited to be here to talk about Descendants of Zombies with each and every one of you. And I'm sure I'll have another reaction tomorrow morning when I review my receipt for my latest video game purchase on this YouTube channel, which you're not going to want to miss. As we celebrate the 16th birthday of Ruby Rose Turner tomorrow morning, I'm really excited about it. That taste of apple pie has been in the back of my throat ever since. But this is why I think Ruby Rose Turner should be given that distinction, to bake cookies and pies for everybody, because she's just a beautiful person inside and out, and I want the world to know that I think she's a beautiful person on the inside and out, because there's no other way to describe Ruby. She is drop-dead gorgeous, she has a beautiful personality, and she deserves all the respect in the world coming from not only me, but all the fans of Descendants of Zombies, and that's what I want the world to know. Guys, thank you so much for all your love and support. Thank you for joining me today for the birthday celebration of Ruby Rose Turner, 20 years old. I remember when I turned 20 years old and my mom looked at me and she said, 3 weeks before she passed away, she said, "Your life is just getting started. Go out and leave an everlasting impression on everybody's heart." And that's exactly what I've like to do, or like to think that I've done, by leaving an everlasting impression on everybody's heart through the power of these videos. And I think that Ruby's life is just getting started, and she has so many wonderful memories left yet to create, along with all the memories she had forever and always created for each and every one of us and left behind in her legacy. And that's exactly what I'm here to do, is ensure that her legacy goes down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. But I can't do that without your guys' help. So if you could take a moment to hit my subscribe button, I would forever love you guys, man. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. We will talk about Freya Sky and celebrate her 16th birthday, Sweet 16, coming up for Freya tomorrow morning. You are cordially invited to that. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke. We will talk again tomorrow morning. Until then, keep on spreading your own message of kindness, because you never realize how much profound impact you will have on somebody's heart when you spread your own message of kindness, because life really is sweeter when all of us are. Happy 20th birthday going out to Ruby Rose Turner. Thank you guys so much.